And welcome to Ascension eSports Elder League Season 2! Barney's Brigade versus the Virtuosos. This is going to be week 1, and we are getting straight into picks and bans. How are you feeling today, Decezdan? Well, I'm feeling quite fine today. Thank you, Eric. I'm hoping to see a very good game going on right now between these two teams. This is Elder League, and we're sure to see something great coming up right here. Yes, we are sure to see a good matchup coming up right here. This is going to be the first match of the week. Ascension eSports Elder League Season 2. So right away, we already see out the Graves band out right there. We also see the Shen Lucian going down. Wonder what's going to come up next. Winning out that last band, of course, the Lulu, one of the greatest supports to first pick, I'll tell you what. I have to agree with that, Brother Brando. Is a great support to first pick if you can get it. With the falling off of the power mage supports, these carry mages, all the nerfs that's been given to them, it's actually a really good thing in terms of bringing back the old school style supports. And as we see Lulu becoming one of the strongest, especially at denying assassins, it's a very great pick to have, and that's why it's straight up banned out. Yeah, and we do see the Lee Sin banned out right here. Also a very good jungler to have. It's pretty strong. It has that strong early game. Most likely a little bit more of a target ban coming out.
Take a good look.
And now Ashe going out as well. Lethality nerfs coming through, making the lethality ADCs a little less more popular. So far waiting for Barney's Brigade to go ahead and take out their first pick. We see L358, one of the great members of the Phoenix League staff, subbing in for Barney's Brigade. He's most likely going to be full-time after this game. And that's a very interesting fact, Brother Brando. Slightly irrelevant, though, but we'll get to it. We're still waiting for that first pick to come out. Nothing grabbed yet. There it is, Avaris. We are going to see the lethality ADC locked in. What do you think about that one, Brother Brando? Well, I think that's actually a pretty good pickup. I don't think it's the strongest thing right now, but not having the Ashe on the board to really punish it it's not bad to pick it up. We're going to see how well Lil Stevie works on that. And now we see Zed being hovered. Very interesting pick Zed would be right now. I think it's a little bit too early to go for the Zed. If they do lock it in, it leaves a lot of openings for Barney's Brigade to do counter picks. So we're still waiting for the lock-in right here. Nothing yet quite picked up. Looks like they're going to go for the Warwick and Zed. That's very risky picks to be taken in right here. And yes, the Warwick locked in. Are they going to lock in the Zed as well? And no, they do switch to the Ezreal at the last second. The Virtuosos not willing to risk that Zed pick a little bit too early. Yeah, it would be really risky to show your mid this early. Even if it was top Zed, it's still pretty risky to show it. Making it a flex Zed would have been something interesting, but they choose to go with the Ezreal anyway. No reason to elaborate more on it. So yeah, the Warwick and Ezreal going through. Very interesting picks. Aatrox recently buffed. Aatrox and Zac. I've actually been really enjoying Zac lately. I think it's a pretty good jungler overall when you want that overall presence and ability to gank from creative paths. But instead, she's going to go with the Bard. We're going to see what they're going to pick up right now. I highly doubt they're going to go with the Aatrox. I can't imagine they're actually going to lock that in. Instead, yeah, they're switching for Zac right here. And they also seem to be hovering that Bard. I'm not too sure about that one. It is very plausible, but I don't think so. And yep, yeah, I was completely wrong with that one. They go with the Swain instead. So yeah, we do see the Zac and Swain locked in. Very interesting comp. It's almost a very brawly comp, despite the Varus. I'm interested to see how much further they go with this comp. We're going to find out soon enough. Now it is the Virtuosos. Time to pick. How are they going to respond to this? It's going to be very difficult for the Warwick to actually get to be effective with the Zac pick, as Let's Bounce can really disrupt the engage of TSM Sherlock. And yeah, I'll 100% agree with you. That Warwick can easily be interrupted, and it's going to be very hard for TSM Sherlock to get right in there, I'll tell you what. So now we're waiting for the next two picks. Neji Springfield, Trintilism, going for the Vladimir. And the Melzar support going to show up, most likely going to Captain Kristen right there. Is locked in, the Melzar. And yeah, I'm kind of confused by the comp coming in from the Virtuosos. I don't really like it too much. I think it's all right. It's kind of brawly, but well, it really depends on what Barney Brigade's going to pick up next. So Barney Brigade choosing to go with Orianna. I think I'll lock it in. Orianna's such a popular pick right now. What do you think, Brother Brando? I think it's very popular. It's strong for a reason. It has that team fight presence that you don't really see that often in these games. Don't really see that often, Brother Brando. You see it quite often. Orianna's very popular. Well, yeah, I correct myself right there. You don't see it often from other champions, but they're not even going to go with the Orianna. Looks like they're going with the Jace. All right, Chase being hovered. Still switching to Orianna. Are they going to go for it? Yes, they do lock in the Orianna as well as the Misfortune. That's going to be a lot of impact in the team fight. Very interesting comp. Varus doesn't synergize it with it too much. Somewhat does, though, because Chain of Corruption can do a lot of work. And yeah, overall, I'm really liking the comp that's coming out of Barney's Brigade. They're doing a pretty fine draft right here. Now we're waiting for the next pickup to come from the Virtuosos. Gonna find out soon enough. This will be either a top or mid lane pick, as Vladimir is a flex pick, can go to either lane. And it's going to be interesting to see what lane they actually decide to dedicate the Vladimir into, as he does okay against both the Swain and the Orianna. Three seconds to come out, and it's going to be the Thresh pick, which might actually be a placeholder. We're going to find out soon enough. It seems the Thresh is a placeholder for Gangplank. So the last pick is going to be a Gangplank. Would have been weird if it was a Thresh, as they had the Malzahar. Unless they were planning to go to a lane with the Malzahar, it would have been just really unorthodox. So now we're going to be getting back into picks and bans in just a moment. Gonna speed through it this time. So here we go. Back into picks and bans. This is going to be a very fast one, as the picks are already locked in for both teams. Just needed to do a quick placeholder. So what do you think of these picks and bans? I think it really does favor Barney's Brigade much more. They have a very great team fight oriented comp. I think it can do quite a lot for Barney Brigade's team, especially going against the team comp of the Virtuosos. Yeah, and I have to agree with you there, Brother Brando. I do believe Barney Brigade's has the superior draft, but do they have the superior play? We're going to find out soon enough. It also really depends on how well the Virtuosos can work the map, work their team fight, and show off that synergy. I 100% agree with you. So we're going to find out soon enough as the locks go through back and forth. Gangplank picked up. Very solo QS comp coming out of the Virtuosos. I 100% agree with you. It's very solo QS indeed. But you can't count either team out, really. I think it can go either way. I'll tell you what. So now we will be getting into game momentarily. Now, for those of you just joining us, this is Ascension eSports Elder League Season 2. Barney's Brigade versus the Virtuosos. This is week 1 of a 5-week regular season tournament, which eventually lead to playoffs. If you are interested in joining Ascension eSports, please check the links down below. Check out our Discord, check out our subreddit, get involved in the community. It'll be quite fun. Anything to add to that, Brother Brando? Nothing much. You already said everything I would have said already, and then some. I'm just excited to get into this sweet League of Legends action. So yeah, we should be getting into this quite soon. We need to get through a 3-minute spectator delay, and then we shall get into Barney's Brigade versus the Virtuosos. So there's not much to note as of the very moment. As this is the first week, we're not going to see too much in terms of analysis coming from really casters at all. Because we've yet to really read these players. We've yet to see how they work as a team. Obviously, both of these teams have a lot of power players that are around Ascension eSports quite often. Neji Springfield, Captain Kristen for the Virtuosos. Meanwhile, on the other side for Barney's Brigade, we have L358, one of Phoenix League staff. Actually, pretty great player. It's going to be interesting to see how he does. So yeah, waiting for the spectator delay to go through, and we shall get into game. First match of the series. First match of the season. So, Brother Brando, who do you give your money to? Who do you put your money on, I should say? Who do you bet your money on to win this game right now? I hate to say it, I have to go with Barney's Brigade. We were talking about it earlier. I really like the team comp. Especially, it's actually quite interesting they went with the Misfortune support. See, now that they have the Misfortune, you add that with the Oriana, you add that with the Chain of Corruptions, it's going to do a lot of work for this team right here, I'll tell you what. A lot of work indeed. It synergizes really well. And we can see a lot of potential coming out of Barney Brigade's comp. But that's not to count out the individual play that can come out of the Virtuosos. For all we know, their team comp could work extremely well together. We'll find out soon enough. They do have some pretty strong lanes overall. So we're going to get into this soon enough. Ascension eSports, Elder League, Season 2, Barney Brigade versus the Virtuosos. So it's important to note that both mid laners have opted in to taking Ignite. Very aggressive summoner spells to be taken out of both mid laners, but not just from both mid laners. The support of the Virtuosos has opted into taking Ignite as well, so we should see a very aggressive lane. I mean, when you got the Malzahar and you got the Ezreal, there is a lot of potential to do a lot of damage really fast. And if you take that Ignite, all you're doing is ensuring more kills in a more efficient way. So it could work out pretty well for them, I'll tell you what. And I would like to welcome you all to our April 1st edition of Elder League. And due to some difficulties that I am unaware of, my color caster Wumbo was unable to show up. So we have an ESOB color caster in Brother Brando. How are you doing today, Brother Brando? I'm doing quite fine, thank you.
Show you the true light. Let me up and make me feel
And we are into it. Game 1, Week 1. Ascension eSports Elder League. Barney's Brigade versus the Virtuosos. Who's going to win it? Let us know in the chat. I am pretty hyped for this game, Brother Brando. How about you? I'm very hyped for this game. I can see a pretty good war coming out. Neji Springfield has shown some great performance in the past when we've seen him in Elder League, so I'm expecting big things to come out of him. But also, I'm expecting a pretty good team fight to come out of Barney's Brigade and L358. So we're seeing pretty standard starts
30 seconds until minions spawn.
come out from both teams. Nothing too special here. Doran's Blade for both the ADCs. Spreading out, trying to get as much vision as possible. No one looking to really invade. I mean, let's face it. No team really has the advantage if they're to go for that type of invade.
Minions have spawned.
So far, big spread out. Looking to do standard starts from both teams. Possibly a Raptor start coming out of Fizzy. Seems like he will go for it. Can make for some interesting jungle routes. Interesting gank routes. Gonna see a blue start come out of TSM Sherlock. Yeah, especially when you're playing that Warwick. It's always really good to start off with that blue buff, as he can be a very mana-hungry champion. And the Voidling's doing a lot to speed up the clearing of that blue buff. Almost not dying fast enough. Could he actually take it? No. Gets it just in time. Yeah, so now I'm curious to see what Fizzy's going to do with that Raptor Star. A lot of damage on the Neji Springfield right here. Yeah, Neji Springfield taking quite a bit of damage in that exchange, but look at L358 getting punished as well. Yeah, it seems that the bot lane of the Virtuosos kind of taking the advantage here so far. But the pots are ticking, and that is a support MF. So maybe I could be wrong. Maybe that's worse for Neji Springfield. Really does depend how this night plays out. And we see on point, little Stevie doing some work with those arrows. And so far, a bit of a stalemate in all lanes. Nothing too much going on. We see a lot of punishment onto Crippled Old Man. And look at right here. Look at the top lane. We see TSM Sherlock. He could be going for a gank. There it comes out. And TSM Sherlock looking to get onto Benile Lion Power. Benile Lion Power. Lion Power. What a weird name to say. Is he going to be able to get the kill? TSM Sherlock under the tower. Gets first blood, but goes down immediately after. 1-for-1 exchange. Yeah, an important thing to note is the Crippled Old Man got an assist on that, so he's going to pick up some gold from that as well. It's going to help out Benile Lion Power a little bit more, but you never know what TSM Sherlock can do with that first blood gold. So now, Tritonalism getting a little feisty here, but losing that exchange to DPS mid. And Crippled Old Man taking a lot of damage as well. So looking at you, Springfield, jumping forward, trying to get on to L358, getting a lot of punishment onto him, but also taking a lot back, because that Make It Rain can really make it pain. And we see another gank trying to be set up by TSM Sherlock. Not really being too successful yet. And the gangplank isn't really working out in this top lane. Benile Lion Power has been doing a lot of work in order to completely oppress Crippled Old Man. And that's kind of funny. Considering, you know, his name's Crippled Old Man, he's looking kind of crippled. Haha, that's a good joke, Decerux. So far, more punishment onto Trentinalism. Trading, but absolutely nothing gained from it. This Orianna pick's being pretty strong. Yeah, but it's getting pretty low on mana too, so Trentinalism's going to start winning these exchanges now, unless we get a recall coming out of DTS mid. And there's the Ignite burn. Trindleism having to run away. Low mana from DTS mid. Not able to pick up the kill. Ignite stops ticking. And a little bit questionable on the flash, but it did burn the flash of Trindleism. Yeah, and that's the risk of taking that Vladimir. Trying to punish early. Very difficult, especially against an Orianna. But expect to see that Vladimir start scaling, especially because he's keeping up with CS pretty decently. So now a lot of trading in this bot lane. This is making it really hard to tell who's actually going to win out, but so far it has been Lil Stevie, as he does have a pretty good CS lead. Yeah, it's pretty soon. We should see a little bit more jungle influence come in. Fizzy on the Zac, taking the recall. And this is the point where you should start seeing the ganks come out of Fizzy. Zac, very creative with those ganks, having level 2 Elastic Slingshot is when you start to really get that range that helps out. And we're seeing recalls come out of both sides. The tier picked up first for Neji Springfield. So he's not really going to have too much lane presence. We do see the Vampiric Scepter coming out of Lil CV. So expect to see Stevie do a little bit more in this game. In this returning lane. Yeah, not really getting any combat stats from the tier. This will mostly be Lil Stevie's lane up until Ninja Springfield can finally get that spike, and even then it's going to be difficult. Yeah, it takes a while for an Ezreal to really ramp up. No, they have to get that tier. We don't know if he's going to go with the Trinity Force build or if he's going to go with Frozen Fist build. Excuse me. But with time, we'll eventually get to that. And we'll see how it plays out in the mid game. So far, pretty even matchups. Gold lead to Barney's Brigade. A lot of damage going on to Trentinolism. And just DTS mid's really punishing him so much. Yeah, it's been very difficult. It's kind of surprising that Fizzy hasn't gone to that mid lane and actually done something about that matchup. Now, so far, constant push-ins coming from the bot lane of Barney's Brigade. We do see Fizzy. He might be setting up for something. We're going to go towards Pink Ward. Not really getting too much there. Looks like he wants to gank the bot lane. And would you look at that? TSM Sherlock, he found a clue, and it says Zac's in this direction. And there we go, Fizzy trying to run away. There's the slow, there's the infinite to rest on the Fizzy. But Fizzy's not the target you want to take out this early. Now going after L358. Here comes Trendalism, trying to get a play. Shockwave is huge. Will the Shockwave be enough to take down Sherlock? It does. DTS 5 minutes going to go down next. And the kill picked up by Captain Kristen into Bloblets is Fizzy. Fizzy might be able to get out. There's the True Shot Barrage. And he goes down to Neji Springfield. Trentalism will survive. And a double kill picked up by Neji Springfield. Overall, great play. Great play indeed coming out from the Virtuosos. They're looking good so far. Yeah, and it seems this very unorthodox comp is working very well. It's playing the individual power, and it's really showing. Yeah, it's really showing. They look great in that fight. They're very well organized, well calculated. Great play coming out from the Virtuosos. So we did have a gold lead from Barney's Brigade, but it has gone in favor of the Virtuosos after that. And it was all thanks to Fizzy getting caught. And look at Crippled Old Man starting to get the better of Benaya Lion power. So now we say... Now we see a resetting happening. So far, no push for the objectives. Especially when it comes to Cloud Trick. Cloud Trick is not really one of those contested objectives. It's kind of hard to get to it. Yeah, especially because it's, you know, with Dragons, there always comes a risk. And it's very hard to justify that risk with just something as, I don't want to say as insignificant as move speed, Yeah, I mean, moving some spade's not that insignificant. It still does a lot when it comes to those rotations. Here comes the gank. Here comes the gank coming out from Fizzy, looking to get crippled old man. Unfortunately, unable to get onto him. Did not have Benign Lion power nearby. And we see DTS mid still getting the best out of Trentinism. And now Benign Lion power going on to Crippled Old Man. Crippled Old Man getting chunked out a little bit, not able to get that ward. Crippled Old Man really wanting it. Unlucky for him. And do you think Fizzy's going to go for this? It looks like he's going for it. Unable to get onto him. And now Fizzy trying to get Trentinism. Let's Bounce picks up that kill. Now a little bit of a trade in the bot lane. Overall, good of Barney's Brigade to get something back after that devastating team fight. Yeah, and it shows. He's really struggling. Trentinism in that mid lane, struggling a lot. Look at the CS differential in the mid lane. It's hurting him a lot. That's his first death, but it's so hard for him to really have any impact in that game. Here comes the fight. Chain of Corruptions goes out, and there is the bullet time doing so much work. Great Chain of Corruptions to come out of Lil Stevie. Now Crippled Old Man trying to run away. Yeah, Benign Lion power doing a lot of damage on the Crippled Old Man. And still struggling. Playing that Gangplank. Not really working out in that matchup. Yeah, but we are still seeing the individual power of Barney's Brigade come out. Neji Springfield's getting poked out quite a bit. He's got to be careful. Yeah, and look at this. We do say TSM Sherlock. He is spotted by that ward, though, so they should see this gank coming. Yeah, but that ward was actually a red ward. Oh, my bad. TS mid goes for those shockwave. It's not enough, but he does get the combo follow-up. Pretty good moves coming out from DTS mid. Yeah, still spotted out by that ward, though. There was a ward that spotted him. Now, is this going to be Benaya's kill? Is it going to be enough? He's running low on mana, taking a lot of punishment, has to flash out from the tower. Now, DTS looking to get on the Sherlock, doesn't really get too much. And this is where things get kind of tough for the Virtuosos, because they do have TSM Sherlock. I know TSM Sherlock is an E-sub, and that really hurts to have your emergency sub bay someone like TSM Sherlock to be the jungler, is what I'm trying to get at. I'll tell you what. So far, no turrets taken. Trentinism trying to get onto DTS mid very aggressively. He has been losing out in that matchup, denying the back. Not sure if it was too worth it to deny the back, though. And yeah, he is running low on mana, though, so it's going to be... might be worth it. He's able to get more CS without really getting harassed as hard. Yeah, and the kills are now evened up for both teams. Yeah, and the gold is fairly even as well. Forgot to mute my Facebook. My bad. And here we see in the top lane, Crippled Old Man taking a lot of punishment once again. So gold pretty even up. Overall, pretty even matchup so far, except for the lanes. We see Trentinism as well as Crippled Old Man taking a lot of punishment, but in this case, Crippled Old Man is actually farming quite well in comparison to his counterpart. And here comes a great move coming out. Is it going to be enough? No, but they are looking to switch it on to Captain Chris, and the kill picked up on the Captain Chris, and the tick is going to run off. It's going to be enough for L358. He does survive. And overall, great exchange for Barney's Brigade. But look it down here. Yeah, we do see more trades going on. Crippled Old Man has to run away from that one. This is the kind of pressure that Crippled Old Man has to deal with when fighting Benaya Power Swain. And look at, here comes the gank on the Trendalism. He's going to try and use that pull to get away. Does get the pull off. Is going to be safe for now. And that's the power of picking that blade. And we may see first turret go down. It's going to be a little bit of a race, but Barney's Brigade does pick it up before the Virtuosos. Here comes the turnaround, and Trentalism gets melted by DTS mid and Fizzy. With the Ignite ticking, still wasn't enough. Good teamwork coming out from this mid-jungle duo. Yeah, and you have to really give credit to how wild the individual play of Barney's Brigade is. Yeah, despite going down to an early team fight, they've managed to take a kill lead as well as a gold lead coming into this mid-game. So now we got our first Dragon contest. We're going to see how this plays out. Fizzy not choosing to go with the Elastic Slingshot just yet. Seems this dragon will go to a stalemate. No one really going after this dragon yet. Yeah, it's a really tough dragon to contest because, let's face it, no one really wants to give up their lives for a Cloud Drake. And there is a good amount of vision coming out from the Virtuosos. Question is, are they able to use that properly? Elastic Slingshot is canceled. And it seems they do want to contest this drag. They have a lot of power around this drag. L358 spawning out Captain Christie. And once again, Fizzy using the Elastic Slingshot, this time to get some farming. Crippled Old Man taking so much punishment time and time again. It's very difficult for him to get anything done other than farm. But that's the important part. He is keeping up with the farm. Yeah, you got to give it a Crippled Old Man. He's not being as crippled as his name implies. Not much action going on at the very moment. Still mostly revolving around map play. We do see that Crippled Old Man is using the teleport, which does give a teleport advantage to Barney's Brigade. So if they actually look to take advantage of that, especially with how much the top laner, Benaya Lion Power, has been pushing, it could be devastating if they set this up the right way. Now we might see a gank come out of Fizzy. He's looking to set up for a gank on the Virtuoso spot lane. There isn't much vision coming out, so it's very possible they can pull this one out. Yeah, and this is pretty tough for the Virtuosos bot lane because they've been taking a lot of punishment. Speaking of punishment, look at this top lane. Yeah, in the top lane, Crippled Old Man looking to run away from Benaya Lion Power. Benaya chunking out Crippled Old Man. Unfortunately, not able to catch him. Very slippery gangplank. I agree with you 100%. That gangplank, so slippery. Unable to really be caught out. And, ooh, great deny coming out of Benaya Lion Power of the barrel. And we see, finally, the dragon has started. Are we going to see a fight break out over this? Elastic Slingshot is being charged up. There is the bullet time. And lands a shockwave combo is brilliant! And now Shock is just so much damage coming out for this team. Great play coming out. Trentalism is all by himself, and he's melted. Double kill picked up for Barney's Brigade. 11-5. They look to run this down mid, possibly pick up a turret. Yeah, great play coming out from Barney's Brigade, really stomping out the Virtuosos, and we saw it right there. The teleport was huge. That teleport advantage played a huge part in being able to do that, especially that great wombo combo coming out from the Zachariana. So now they are getting the bottom tower. Chunking out very quickly. It's going to give them a one turret advantage. So what do you think that the Virtuosos have to do to really get back into this? It's going to be pretty tough for them. They have to play this real carefully. That's the way it's going to be. Really, it just comes down to individual play. If they can work this, if they can get this more towards the late game, they might have a chance, especially considering the power smacks of both Gangplank and Vladimir and Ezreal. It's very possible they can pull this back up coming to the mid to late game. Very possible indeed. I don't want to count them out just yet, but they are putting on the pressure. Crippled Old Man is snared, but here comes Neji trying to pick up Anaya Lion Power, but here comes Lil Stevie denying it, but Sherlock is around the corner. Will the Infinite Duress go off? It's trying to be defended. Infinite Duress goes off onto Little Stevie instead. Was that the wise choice? He didn't pick up a kill. He gets dropped instead, and there is a great shockwave. Neji's gonna go down next. Fizzy grabs that one. Crippled Old Man running for his life. He's now a dead old man. And he drops. Double kill picked up for Fizzy. But now Captain Kristen, a little danger coming in, able to get out. And what great collapse coming out from Barney's Brigade. You have to question TSM Sherlock, though. It was a very questionable choice for him to just use the Infinite Duress pretty much in the wrong direction. He could have gotten that kill, but instead chose to back off and try and help out his team, double up on it. Captain Kristen caught out a little bit here. Captain Kristen's melting a little bit too much. Just one tick of health left. Will Trentalism be able to grab L358? Yes, first kill picked up, has to flash away, gets out, but gets a kill, and Captain Kristen doesn't drop. Yeah, it's not for the Virtuosos to finally get something in return, but they have to do a lot more of that if they want to stop the bleeding that Barney's Brigade has put on them. Yeah, and now turret deficit is at 2. With only the bot turret down, Virtuosos really need to start playing this map game a little bit more intelligently. They need to get that global gold in. They need to get their carries running, because if they don't get that spike, that's it for them. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. This is an uphill battle for the Virtuosos. I don't really see them having much of a chance to come back. Even though they do got a chance to come back, it's not that strong. With the teamfight comp that Barney Brigade has drafted, it's only going to get harder from here, especially with that, especially if they keep doing those beautiful combos like that shockwave on the Zac. So now it's going to be a little bit of a vision battle before they find the next team fight. At least that's to be expected. They do have a lot of vision coming into the bot jungle of the Virtuosos. And they have spotted out Crippled Old Man, trying to get a little bit of punishment. But yeah, this is definitely an uphill battle, Brother Brando. And we do see that Ezreal is looking to go for that Trinity Force Ezreal build, which I think probably is the best choice. I don't really like the blue build nowadays. I think having the Trinity Force, it's just too good of an item. You stick with it. I think, well, I think the Frozen Fist build is still good. I think it's one you can use that's pretty good at playing from behind. Yeah, but it doesn't really offer the damage that you'd get out of a Trinity Force. And still, the pressure continues on the top lane. Trying to pressure out Crippled Old Man. Chain of Corruptions goes out. Is it going to be enough to stop Crippled Old Man? He's taking pounding from Fizzy. Is it going to be the kill? Yes, it is. Unstoppable Blob comes in. Here's the Ignite onto Lanaya Lion Power. The battle of Spell Vampers is turning almost into a wet noodle fight. Trentalism and Benaya choosing to not really get any much more out of that fight. So yeah, that was a pretty good gank coming out from Fizzy. Able to pick up that kill on Crippled Old Man under the tower, and he gets out alive. So now, uh-oh, this might be bad for Captain Kristen. Is he going to be able to run away in time? He does have the shield. Shockwave goes off, but burns the flash at the very least. And here comes Fizzy trying to jump over that wall again and do a little bit of shenanigans, but it's not really working out. You're going to want to pull that off so many times. They have a ward there that time, so they are aware of it. And teleport is back up for the 9 Lion Power, so he will be pushing that bot lane, looking to get some pressure out. L358 almost caught by Captain Kristen. So far, this has been a pretty good game to come out of Barney's Brigade. They've had a great draft, and they're doing great team play with that draft, and it's really showing. Yeah, I do feel like the Virtuosos have to invest so much in order just to get one kill, where, you know, DTS just throws the ball and Fizzy presses R, and that can net them 3 quite instantly. Two-shot barrage does goes out. Unfortunately, unable to really get anything. Just helped out the cause for Barney's Brigade. That is a Mountain Drake, though. Yeah, Mountain Drake. Quite a terrifying Drake, honestly. I honestly value Mountain Drake higher than Infernal. I'm more like the Infernal. I think having that team fight power is pretty crucial and can really affect the flow of team fights, having that extra damage. Well, see, I'm more of a fan of Mountain Drake just because having that ability to burst down objectives, including turrets and Baron, it's just more gold. It can influence it in a different way. It's just getting your team to get these objectives faster, and I think that's a great stat to have. Well, both of them are great stats to have regardless, I'll tell you what. So we might see a play come out of TSM Sherlock right here. I'm choosing not to go for it. And this is the thing, TSM Sherlock has been completely shut out. Yeah, he's running 1-4-1. He's been able to really do jack anything with that infinite duress right there. So now the pressure is on for the Virtuosos. Having a hard time doing anything in this game. I feel like Barney's Brigade can do a little bit more of a better job of sieging. They do have the poke game. They do have the ability to stop any advancements that's coming out from the Virtuosos. But they're playing the map game a little bit. They're still looking to get picks. But you don't want to do this for too long, because then you're allowing a window of opening to come out from the Virtuosos. And here we go. They might actually get a pick onto Sherlock. Sherlock tries to use Infinite Duress, but it's inefficient use of it as he does it right into Fizzy. Little Stevie killing off TSM Sherlock. Oh, and that's a Baron call right there. Fizzy getting knocked out of his elastic slingshot with the plasma. I didn't even know it had that interaction, I'll tell you what. So now the Baron pressure coming in. Will we see a Shockwave come out of DTS mid? I don't know why I said 5. Doesn't look like it's going to be that contested, but the smite does go off. Managed to secure that Baron, and that's going to be huge for Barney's Brigade. So now, how do you think the Virtuosos really come back from this? Plain and simple, they just got to stop getting caught. They got to stall out this game and stop getting caught. They have decent wave clear, but they're not really using it because we saw last time TSM Sherlock got caught, gave them the Baron. It's easier said than done, though, to be fair. But the bleeding is still there, and it's still pretty immense. The question is, can Barney's Brigade rack the base? We'll find out soon enough with that one. It's been a 2-turret deficit for the longest time now. And that's the thing. We haven't seen Barney's Brigade pick up another tower in quite some time. Yeah, good stalling coming out. They just have to play it a little bit more carefully. Captain Kristen might look to go onto DTS, chooses not to, and finally a turret picked up. First one in quite some time with the aid of the Baron buff. Are they going to look to get another on a rotation? Then instead, sieging mid. This is where I'm a little bit confused. I feel like it would be best just rotate mid right now. Pick up that extra tower. The wave is there. You can grab it quite easily. They are going to get the bot tower, however. Bot tower down. That's 2 towers down in the last minute. And we see Trendalism going after DTS, but it's not going to be enough as DTS outplays that with ease. And now the siege onto the tower. Are they going to be able to crack the base? DTS mid is getting caught up by Sherlock. Will Sherlock be able to catch up to DTS mid? Crack, crack. Is it going to be enough? He's running for his life. He gets out. Great moves coming out from DTS mid. Yeah, great moves indeed coming out from DTS mid. I thought for sure he was dead right there, but able to get out, able to stay safe. Chillin' Smite wasn't even enough to get Sherlock caught up to him. And now this might be the crack in the base of the Virtuosos, taking a lot of punishment here. That turret will go down, and the base is open. Turret goes down, inhibitor is exposed. This is very dangerous territory for the Virtuosos. Very dangerous indeed. Going to be a very rough situation for the Virtuosos. They were doing good with Stalin, but then the Baron came up and that just ruined it. For some reason, Trentalism decided to try and fight DTS mid. It didn't pay off. DTS mid has had the number of Trentalism this entire series so far. Yeah, 616. I don't think it was the wise choice to fight it at all. Yeah, well, are you going to find an Orianna that's fed? That's that fed, I should say. So now another dragon is picked up. That is the second mountain drake. And that's where things get really, really worrisome. Because now objectives will melt like that. Yeah, this is a lot of danger coming out. And they have to be real careful. We've said it a million times, but they're not playing this right. They were able to stall out for quite some time, but right now they're just struggling to even stay in this game. 13k gold separates these teams. And look at Sherlock caught out again. Here comes the elastic slingshot looking to get onto Sherlock. Actually just takes the wolf instead. So now we see the pressure coming out of Benaya line power in the top lane. He does have that exposed inhibitor. Let's see how he matches up with the Swain. And now Benaya a little bit caught out, but not enough really. He's able to battle his way out of this. Yeah, this Sage is real deadly, especially having a little CV on the Varus. If you don't dodge that poke, it's going to add up, and it's going to add up fast. So they got to be careful with this. Stevie. Look at him poke him out, especially with L358. It's one thing to undermine how much L358 does with that. Now, inhibitor under Sage. Trendalism looks to go on to Benaya. And look, another inhibitor under siege. Will Fizzy actually go into this? He goes on to Captain Christie. Captain Christie's getting punished, but uses the Malefic Visions to lock him up. Manages to kill Captain Christie, but Sherlock goes in the rebuttal. Now it looks kind of bad for them, but the shockwave goes out. Is it going to be enough to get Trendalism? DTS trying to run. Is he going to be able to turn this around? Does turn it around and gets the kill. Now Neji trying to run away from Benaya Lion Power, but Benaya is in the base. Neji has to run the complete wrong way to get free. Yeah, and even when it looked like the Virtuosos were having a good play, they're just too far behind. They can't get it going. Yeah, no kidding. Just great overall play coming out of Barney's Brigade. Able to stop everything. Even the advantageous positions that the Virtuosos can muster up somehow are completely shut down right away thanks to this gigantic deficit that they've acquired. And oh, what a double snare coming out. There is the bullet time. Is it going to kill Neji? It does! L358! What a monster to pull off that one. So far, a lot of tension for the Virtuosos. They're not doing too well right now, I'll tell you what. That is an understatement. Really, Barney's Brigade has just been sending a statement to the entire Elder League division with this game so far. Oh, wow, what a nice steal coming out of DTS mid, denying even the red buff from the Virtuosos. Uh-oh, this could be Shockwave to come out. It's another Baron attempt coming out from Barney's Brigade. There are wards up. They do spot it. Will Sherlock be able to steal it? Sherlock, will he infinite duress over? He's getting ready to do it. Shockwave goes out. Is he going to be able to steal it? No, he doesn't! Now going down is Sherlock. Captain Kristen trying to stop DTS, but DTS drops Captain Kristen. And now, with only 3 members up, this looks like it's the end for the Virtuosos. Yeah, it looks like it's the end indeed. They are going to have a very hard time defending this. You got super minions. Look at that. 2 super minions coming up with a Baron buff. That's terrifying. DTS mid flashes. Very close kill. Almost picked up by DTS mid. Meanwhile, we have Fizzy looking to get something done, bullying them back to the fountain. DTS picks up the kill. Legendary is DTS. Bullet time goes off, but doesn't get anything else. Well, you know what? They will get a Nexus instead. Game 1 going to Barney's Brigade. And what a display coming out of Barney's Brigade. They sure showed one heck of a match right there. Yeah, they definitely did. It was a great display of power coming out of Barney's Brigade. They are making a statement game. The only question I have next is, are they going to be able to keep up that type of momentum? So we are going to get the stats in just a second. And yeah, there are the damage charts. A lot of damage. 34k coming out of DTS mid. Great display. Just really great display coming out from this team. How will the Virtuosos respond? We're going to find out soon enough when we get into Game 2. Barney's Brigade versus Virtuosos soon.